project and your organization strategy. They're linked. You know that. And if you come into any of my project management classes, my project leadership classes, you'll also hear me tell you that one of the greatest ways to motivate your team members is to give them a very clear, crisp understanding of how their work on a day-to-day basis relates up to that strategy. I get the feeling, though, sometimes that you don't believe me. But if you really want to strengthen the ties between projects and project success, then strengthen the ties of understanding so that people on your team understand what it is that they contribute to the organization's overall strategic success. Every project has an objective, and every project has a deliverable. Every project has constraints. Somehow, in the field of project management, many of us got really good at it by focusing in on the deliverable and focusing in on managing all of those competing constraints. If we do that and we do it well, there's just one little hitch. You could do that beautifully. And if you don't remember to keep your eye on the project objective, you could do all of that beautifully, and the organization still won't be able to hit their target. Let's face it, things are changing at a monumental level of fast. Big changes, little changes that turn into big changes. Things change all the time. Heck, it's one of the reasons why an agile mindset is so important. It's not because of necessarily the specific approach. Okay, we'll pause now so that all of my colleagues can go, oh, I can't believe she's being allowed to say that. But it's more along the understanding of how important it is to be agile, to have an agile mindset, to be able to respond in a manner that demonstrates your agility. Okay, right about now, a couple of them are saying, okay, maybe she gets it a little bit better than we thought. After all, maybe. Since you know that we tend to focus a lot on practical suggestions to address problems that we run into every day, then of course we aren't going to ask you to examine the ties between the organization's strategy and your project's objective without giving you a few simple suggestions. They're actionable immediately. And we're going to start with one that probably seems counterintuitively simple. If it's not in the project charter, ask. If it is in the project charter, but it's been a while since the project charter was written and before you got it, ask some clarifying questions. Confirm that it really is exactly that they're going to try to achieve. Ask them what the success criteria is. Because you don't just want to aim for completion criteria. That's not going to do it. You also want to make sure that your project hits the success criteria so that your organization can hit theirs. We focus on leadership-driven project management because we believe that one team at a time, you can make some differences that are going to help your whole organization be more productive, more profitable, and frankly, a darn sight nicer to work in. But that doesn't mean that we've lost sight of our objective. We just, want to change the world one project team at a time. Okay, I'm joking, but actually not. Every time that you look at what you're doing with leadership-driven project management with your project teams, you help your entire organization get just a little bit more productive, a little bit more profitable. The cool thing is it's iterative. So one of the things that you want to clarify about your understanding of the organization's strategic goals is this. Is your project delivering an interim goal, an interim objective, or is it part of a well thought out plan to a final objective that's monster big and wonderful? Some project charters are not called charters. They're called project definition documents or work requests or work orders or client requests. I don't really care what it is you call. Some project charters are not called charters. They're called project definition documents or work requests or work orders or client requests. I don't really care what it is you call the document. Look for what it is that they are asking you to give them a tool to achieve, because that's what the project's final deliverable is all about. It's providing your client and your organization with a tool that's going to help them achieve their overarching objectives. Sometimes people can start out asking for a hammer, but once you understand their objective, it may just be that a hammer would actually break something, but a mallet will do just the job. So understand what it is they plan to do with the tool that you and your team are going to work your buns off so that you can deliver it to them. But that way you can also drive something in a much more intelligent fashion, the change management process. One of my colleagues refers to the change management process, when it's not really done very well, as the death of 1,000 cuts. And I'm not saying that he's wrong. As a matter of fact, a mutual friend of ours always laughs and says, yeah, but I'm not sure who it is that actually dies. If it's my team, me, or the client, or the sponsor, somebody clearly dies. So, to my way of thinking, the question's kind of moot. But you see, change management, when it's managed well, can help you hew to the success criteria, not just for your project, but of the organization's overall strategic objectives. That, that is how you get quickly more productive and more profitable right within the project team, within the project team's contribution to the organization's strategic objectives, the organization's strategic plan, and their vision of what could be accomplished by this organization. Once you have clarity about that, then the next step is to bring that home to each and every one of your team members. Help them connect to what their contribution means for the project to achieve its objective, but also for the organization to achieve its objective. Sometimes an easy way of putting it is this: what would happen if that individual wasn't there, performing to their highest standard of professional performance? What kind of harm would come to the project and the team and the organization? And that can help you frame an argument, not a fight, okay, a supporting argument for why that particular team member's contribution is so very important, so critical, and why they are so very important and so critical to the project being able to get done well. Not just done well. Because if organizations are going to keep moving forward in this monumental amount of changing times, and we're all trying to be better at being intellectually, emotionally, and yes, project-wise, more agile. It means that we're going to be spending a lot of time going for moving targets. The one thing that will stay the same is if you are able to show each and every member of your team exactly what they contribute, not just to the project's objectives, but to the organization's objectives. That's a relationship and a trust level that can stay constant in a time of ever-changing circumstance. You can't do that without clarity yourself. So start with clarity yourself about what the organization's strategic goal is and how your project's objectives lead into that. Contribute to it. You never know. You may find that your project team's efforts are even more pivotal than you realized. And that's not bad news to share. I'm KimiKSP. We love offering you practical suggestions and short video lessons, and we hope you enjoy them as well. If you do, please like, comment, subscribe, forward the link, just in case somebody else you know could use a couple of helpful suggestions or maybe just a slightly different context on things. This video was brought to you by Leadership Driven Project Management Academy. Thanks for being with us.